Welcome everybody back to All Shots Podcast. Pete, June, how you guys doing tonight?
What's up, man?
Another day. I'm still in Florida, bro. So I'm here.
I see that.
Yeah, I'm here. I'll be here until at least Sunday because I forgot my cousin's birthday slash graduation party Saturday. I said I might as well hang out and go to it. You know what I'm saying? June, how you doing, bro?
Man, here, putting trying to clean my den room, man. It's been like madness. It's like I got time off, but I don't at the same time. It's really weird.
So, man, real quick, week 14 recap. Anything you guys want to harp on? Any games that stood out to you? Like, I guess what's your biggest surprise of the weekend? Let's go that way.
Um, I'm gonna go
Go ahead. Go ahead.
shoot, man. Well, I'll tell you what, man. We could go ahead and we could talk about these birds in this trap game. Um, yeah, man, we could talk about this trap game and then we could talk about really the elephant in the room when it comes down to it, because it seems like more of the attention wasn't even on the game; it was more outside the game and what's going on in the locker room rather than the positives. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so at the end of the day, Barkley still had 100 yards, which is great. Over 100 yards, which is great. The What's his name? Hurts didn't have a turnover again, which is great. I think that the team was. I think it was they strategically planned to win the game, and that's what they did. However, the miscues of not throwing the ball when he could have obviously comes into play. If you look at Hurts games, man, I mean, he throws over 200 yards almost every single game. He throws over a little over 100 yards, and it's a problem, but they still come up with the W on this crazy game. And one of the things, man, that I wanted to talk about in the podcast is not just about the Eagles, but when these teams don't have nothing to lose, that will give you the biggest challenges rather than these teams that are going to go in there and you're playing against each other. When you're playing against the Ravens, yeah, you expect a good game. But when you're playing a team that don't have anything to lose, man, they're coming left and right with all types of plays and moves they probably ain't never seen throughout any team that's above 500, to be honest with you. But and that's what the Panthers are going to give you, especially now. They've been playing hell great uh, ever since they gave the Chiefs a run for their money on that one game. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I expected a tough game, to be honest with you. I didn't think that this game was going to be easy at all. Um, it's more the outside noise. Instead of celebrating the W, we're here talking about the drama in the locker room. This same time frame last year was when the Eagles went downhill, and
Mm-hmm.
and is that what they're doing? Are we? Let's go back to last year. We were doing really good. Let's go back to last year and do really bad so we can get out the playoffs. We clinched a playoff berth, so we're gonna escape the same way, because right now, from what it's looking like, if the Bucks play the way that they play, they could be the same team that we played in the first round that put us out last year. And we lost the last three games against the damn Bucks. So, but that's a different story. Hypothetically speaking, that was. So again, that was the game of the week that I wanted to talk about, more so outside the drama rather than the game. We got the W, which is great. Let's keep on winning. And as far as Dallas goes, we could talk about that a little bit.
We gonna talk about it because I got a thing for the Bengals. I just added in there. Pete, what was your game, man?
Rams.
I was gonna
Rams
talk
and
about that. How
Bills.
you? Okay,
That
what
was
about it?
uh that was a shootout. Well, if you ever see Josh Allen do one of those games, 4 touchdowns, it's usually 4 touchdowns, but he went for six. Usually going against him in fantasy, which was the case this Sunday. So yeah, not surprised at all that that happened, because that's usually what happens when I'm going up against them in fantasy. But 6 touchdowns is crazy. It's three
Yep.
rushing, three passing, and had a they the Rams are that, like, one of those teams that you can't really figure out, but because they lost to the Dolphins there,
Hmm.
but then they beat the Bills, so they're a little weird to me. But
Hmm.
Buffalo, all their losses on the road. Josh Allen looks amazing. Looks like the best player in football right now. Um, that to me was the game because the game that of this weekend because that just the way they lost it, they could have won that game, and that quarterback sneak to cost them a timeout was costly, and
Hmm.
the coach, man, is like, come on, dude, like you throw it, you're stopping the clock. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a bootleg timeout, but you want
Yeah,
to
yeah.
quarterback sneak, not automatic. So
No.
look what happened. It cost them because they couldn't stop the clock 3 times.
Hmm.
But that was the game for me. It was just a shootout all around.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I agree with that one. I think so June, I'm gonna go back to your game and I didn't expect it a hard time for you guys. I felt this was even though the Panthers been playing well, I just felt that this game should have been like a prep fight for the next week. You know what I'm saying? So because you got the Steelers next week. So
Hmm.
you know, I felt this is the time where you guys need to show up, man. You got, we was talking about this on FaceTime, and we'll talk about it, I guess, when we're talking about next week's games, or this week's games. But you have if you do tailor tape like we do every now and then on here, the Eagles should be the better opponent. You know what I'm saying? And to struggle against the Panthers, even though the Panthers gave the Chiefs some business, but look, the Chiefs ain't been winning games like the Chiefs could be winning games. They just winning games because they're not making the mistake when it's supposed to, when it matters. Um, they barely got away with a win this weekend. Another little doink kick that happens to hit the inside of the upright to bounce in. If it would have hit the outside of the upright, they'd be losing to the Chargers. You know what I'm saying? So, um, I think the noise is getting to the team. I think, and you said something. Winning covers up a lot of stuff, right? And when you're winning, people don't talk about certain things. And these people start getting frustrated when they're not getting the ball. And then what I didn't like was the comments and the pointing of fingers. I think that should be in the locker room. And when the media, like let's say if we're asking questions, it should be, oh, we're good. Gonna, look at the playbook, see what plays we could do better. But, to say that they're not on the same page and then come back and retract it because I guess somebody talked to him and change his statement to say he was wrong, that they're good to go, their relationship isn't strained. I don't know. I think that's crazy. I think your coach needs to put nip that in the bud like ASAP. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know if they need to have like a team meeting separately, but with just players only. But that shit got to come to a halt. Maybe they just got to fight. I don't know. Get it out. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Hey, talk
Hurts,
to the
Hurts
fans,
and
bro.
Brown. Yeah, hey, just get in the locker room. Everybody close the door, and when we come out of here, we're gonna be good. And what you said, Pete, man, I agree. Which is one of the topics I got, and we can transition to it. Bills lost. I thought they was gonna win. I picked them to win, but you can't spot a team 17. There was 17-7 at the end of the second.
Yeah.
It was hell. It was 24-31-7 in the third. Actually, no, I'm lying. No, yeah, yeah, yeah. It was 7-7 on the first, 17-7 in the second. Then they scored 14 points to 7 on the third. So they were scoring touchdowns. They just wasn't stopping the other team from scoring. You know what I'm saying? So you can't spot a team. You be 21, they be 31, and then you go ahead and put up 21 points in the fourth quarter, which is crazy. But they put up six and they won. So I guess my question, and I'll start with you, Pete. Rams, they look good when they're healthy. When you got Puka in there, you got a Cup. Their running back is doing way. We Ray on Stafford can throw the ball. Um, are the Rams making a team in the NFC that the NFC should be looking out for?
I don't know if you remember, I think it was back at the beginning of the year. We was picking division winners. I picked the Rams. I'm not saying they're going to
Hmm.
win the division because Seattle looks like they, got a good lead. But I like the Rams because of Stafford. They got two wide receiver ones. They got a good running game. I don't know too much about the defense, but the Rams are legit. They're only a game back from first place, so I think they're definitely legit. And you think, well, it's tough because the NFC North is going to have probably 3 teams in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So can they get in? They probably got to get that. That's the last seed they could probably get. But I like the Rams. I've liked the Rams since the offseason.
June?
Which part about the Rams?
Yeah.
Man, we talked about this too before on the podcast. The Rams are they're like that team at the second half of the season where you're like, damn, you gotta watch out for them because you just never know. They're gonna squeeze in there and they're gonna find a way somehow, right? But they also show those weaknesses when you're like, damn, what are you doing, my guy? But the thing saving the Rams is one name, and it's not Cooper Kupp. It's that guy Nuka Kapua. That's his name, right?
Puka Nakua.
Yeah. You know how me and names, Frank. And let me tell you, that guy he is going to be an MVP one day if he continues to play the way that he is playing. I think he is a successor to Kupp. And if Kupp remains there another year and they add a third addition to the receiver core, that team or the tight end position, I'm not sure, that team could 100% offensively be something to be reckoned with. And it's, in my opinion, it's all due to his maybe a running back, right? I don't know.
I mean,
But
that
yeah,
dude Williams is running the ball good, bro. The
yeah,
tight
yeah,
ends, I think, is probably the weakness on offense, but go ahead. I'm waiting till you're done so I could agree with you 100%.
yeah. Let me tell you, man, that guy right there was, I'm not sure what draft pick he was, but
Puka?
yeah,
Yeah,
Puka was a 5th round pick, bro.
fifth
yeah,
round.
fifth.
Come on. That's that's all I'm gonna say. Man, the catch that he made on the sideline,
Yeah.
I mean, you can't teach stuff like that, man. You can't. So shout out to the Rams for showing that fight, and huge flowers to Nakua.
Yeah, nah, I mean, he's the difference maker on the team, you know? He's younger than Cooper Kupp, doesn't have as many injuries as Cooper Kupp to overcome. So I expect that he does a lot more. He's a very tough wide receiver, I'll say that. But both of those guys go across the middle. They don't care. It's not a shook thing. I think the Rams are a team you have to be careful of. Because let's say you do have a bad game, you spot them 17 points.
Right.
Now the whole pressure's on you. And we look at the Bills. When the Bills give up that lead, the defense, all just gotta do is, make sure they don't give up the big play. But the pressure's on the Bills to overcome that. And we saw Josh Allen, he didn't have no turnovers. So three the week before the dude set a record. The only player to receive a touchdown, throw a touchdown, and run for a touchdown. And then this year, I mean this weekend, I don't want to say he's the only player because I heard Rex Ryan talk about it years ago in the 50s. But since he's the first player in I don't know how long to do exactly what he just did, 3 passing and 3 rushing touchdowns. And even with all that, they still couldn't overcome the deficit they had to overcome. And Pete, I agree with you, was the coach. Because Brady said it. You don't want to sneak it right now. You got 3 timeouts, throw the ball. Like you said, it stops the clock. It doesn't stop, and then you can punt. You can kick it deep, not have to go for the onside kick, and you have 3 timeouts. It was all set up right for the coaching to help win that game, and instead they cost him the game. They because he didn't manage the clock right. He didn't call the plays right. So it's sad to see, but I think the Bills are going to be okay. Um, and I think the Rams can upset some teams come January. You know what I'm saying? If they get in. I think they can upset some teams. Because like you said, June, they have nothing to lose. If I'm the 6 seed, 7 seed, whatever, I'm on the road. The whole playoffs, I'm on the road. So
Mm-hmm.
I might as well go out here and give them hell. Um, the man, I don't really want to talk about this, but it was a topic, and I saw it. I just want to see what you guys think. Chiefs keep escaping, man. They getting lucky on some parts. Some parts is the good team play. Some parts is I feel like the doink inside. I think that's luck. That's not a bank shot off the pool table and shit that you can project and do. I'll start with June. June, how long can they survive like this, bro?
Man, I wish I had the answer to that because they keep surviving all year. Matter of fact, let's take it back last year. They keep surviving all the way to last year, and it's like they have the recipe to survival because shit, they won the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
And they didn't beat some weak team. You know, they beat the Niners, and then, in my opinion, I thought the Niners were going to really, really dominate based on the momentum and everything they had going on last year. But I don't know if they have a. I don't know if they have a Tesla, mechanics that's working for them right now. But they're finding the answers in the most awkward ways, and it's really working. I'm not going to say that it's 100% on the players because a lot of these plays that Andy Reid draws up, they're weird and they're crazy. They're pretty unique, and they're all based on Mahomes' talent, right? That's the way I see it. Just giving the coach the credit as well, because they're finding ways to win. But I think with the injuries that they have to maneuver based on these plays that have to be drawn up with
Mhm.
what they have in play.
Pete,
What I don't understand is why does this upset so many people?
I think, man, because they keep winning and
But why
people
is it
don't want.
why, but the way they win, does it matter? Like, look, I get it. If it's an inch to the left, it hits the crossbar. I mean the upright square and it doesn't go through. The
Mhm.
game of inches. We've all heard that saying, a game of inches. Same shit. And you know what it is? That separates the good teams from the bad teams. Do we think the Chiefs are bad because they've been winning this way?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't think they're bad.
June brought up a trap game with the
The
Panthers.
Panthers, yeah.
And I agree with you, Frank. I don't think it was a trap game because they've been playing good the last couple of weeks. Last week they took Tampa Bay to overtime. The week
Hmm.
before was the Chiefs, and they played the Eagles tough. I think they're kind of like taking that next step from being like complete trash to being somewhat decent now. So I wasn't surprised, and I don't think this has anything to do with the Eagles. It's more to do with the Panthers that they hung in there with them. And look,
Hmm.
the good teams make the plays, the bad teams don't. This dude, he dropped that was a touchdown. I don't know what he was diving for against the Panthers. I mean against the Eagles.
Right.
If he runs straight through it, he catches it in stride, touchdown. But he dove
Hmm.
for some reason, dropped, they didn't win. But the good teams make those plays, the bad teams don't. Now, the Chiefs were playing a decent team. The Chargers are not, they're no
Mm-mm.
slouch. So it was a fight. It was a heavyweight fight with these guys. And you know what? If they have home field advantage, you put them in a position where they can end the game. That's what they did. I do okay now. The Eagles. Do we think they're a bad team because they kind of they let Carolina hang around? No, they
No.
still what's their record? 12-2. So they're still a good team. There's gonna be times like this. The Chiefs have just had a whole bunch of them, and they've come out on top. But let's not forget we're talking about the champs, the two-time champs here. So
Hmm.
of course they're gonna get those. They're gonna. I believe you make your own luck, and I think that's what they're doing. So
I like that. I
as,
like that.
as far as them, how long can they? How can look? They lost to Buffalo, but Buffalo, kind of whooped their ass. Everybody else let them hang around, and you know what? If you let them hang around, we've been saying this about Mahomes for a while now. Like,
Yeah.
yo, don't let them have the ball at the end, And look, happens almost every week, bro. So
No, you're right. You're right about that because we said that we was watching the game yesterday, and it's something that Brady said, and he said when you have a good team and they're not playing their best, right? Because we can agree that they're not playing their best. He said, but if you let them hang around the one possession games, one thing they're not gonna do is give you the game at the end. Like you said, if Mahomes got the ball, you might as well just start walking to the bus because he's gonna do what he's gotta do. They got gonna kick. And the thing what I like about them is that they're not. so dependent on him. They understand, yo, we can win the game with a field goal. So ain't no need to go into the end zone. Let's just get field goal range. Which,
I'm sorry. Look at what you just said. They're not dependent on Mahomes. They were okay kicking a field goal.
yeah,
Buffalo is so dependent on Josh
correct.
Allen. They tried to quarterback sneak, and it cost them.
Yep.
Let him
Yeah.
throw the ball. He got Amari Cooper. He's
Mm-hmm.
got Matt Collins. He's got James Cook. You could throw out the back. You could throw
Shakir.
out the backfield. Shakir. He's got receivers, but they put it on him. And I get it. He's their best player, but I think it backfired on them because they
No, it
went to
did. It
too much.
did. It did. It did backfire on them. And this is what makes the Chiefs dangerous. You know what I'm saying? This is what makes them so dangerous. For one, they've had a lot of success, so there's nothing that they haven't seen in the past. All they gotta do is go execute. The reason I brought it up is because, like you said, what if you get that one team like the Bills that didn't give up the pressure and they just kept scoring and they would take the points and they were putting that pressure on them. We saw it was hard for them to overcome that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not the same explosiveness as it was.
Mhm.
Now they're getting Hollywood Brown back. You know, they got Pacheco back there. They're getting some of their pieces back healthy. But I mean, we all know, like you said, it's a game of inches, bro. And and you know, I hate to say it, but in every major win I've seen, there's been some luck to it, right? I mean, you take the '07 Super Bowl with the Patriots and Giants, that helmet catch, you know, that was crazy. It didn't even move. It's like it got stuck there. Then when we played the Seahawks and old boy caught that pass, remember he was on his back and
Yep.
he caught it, and I said, "Oh, we're gonna lose. This is another loss because of some miracle catch that." You know, any other time you don't see it. And then when we picked the ball off in the end zone, you know what I'm saying? Malcolm Butler said he's practiced that, but still, bro. I mean, what's the chances? You know what I'm saying? A quick slant and you get it. Everybody has a little bit of luck at times. You know what I'm saying? You can't say that every game you won wasn't off luck. You know, it was all skill, but they just don't give the game away. And I think that the question, you know what I think it is, too, guys, is I think people, their fans make it seem like this is orchestrated and this is how it's planned to go. You know what I'm saying? When we all looking at it like, motherfucker, you take away that toe tap, that's a loss. You take away that PI against the Bengals, which I don't think was a PI, but okay, that's a loss. You don't block the field goal against the Titans, was it? Or the
No,
Colts, and
against
that's a
the Broncos.
yeah, the Broncos, and that's a loss. You know what I'm saying? Hell, yesterday I think that if Herbo had a better more weapon, if he had McConkey out there, it might have been a different game because man, he was getting hit too. Herbo was getting hit. So I don't know. I think they're like you said, they don't give it away, but they've also had some calls go their way, and I think that helps out too when it comes down to it. I just don't know if they're as strong as they was, but last year we said the same thing, and they went on the road and won. So I mean, and now they're going to be at home. You know,
Yeah, Buffalo.
they
I don't think. Well, here's their schedule. The toughest game I think they have is going to Pittsburgh on Christmas. Is the Chiefs.
mm, yeah.
They go to Denver in the end of the year.
But that game don't matter. They got the first seed locked up. It don't matter.
No, they not. I wouldn't say so because Buffalo has two losses, right? Let's say they lose
Hmm.
to Pittsburgh and they lose to Denver, right?
Yeah.
Buffalo beat them, so Buffalo has the tiebreaker.
Yep. They do. They do. That's why it hasn't locked in yet. There's too many close things. I think. So interesting enough, we will talk about that later on. But because I got a topic for the Steelers here. You mentioned them. Steelers beat the Browns, so they got their revenge game. They beat them at home. You know, I don't call beating the Browns like this great victory, but they handled them. They did what they had to do. What I see in the Steelers, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong or not, I see a good defense. Russell's playing well, not turn the ball over. The run game's starting to come to light between Warren, Najee, and Cordell Patterson. But when I saw that, what's his name? Pickens wasn't in there, it was a different offense. He wasn't getting the ball downfield like that. But I feel that I feel the Steelers can upset the Chiefs, right? Just because if you got a good defense like they got, which is good from front to back, and then you got an offense that's not giving the game away either, and then you got special teams and playing great. There's special teams that's actually won them the games sometimes, a few times. I think that's a recipe for disaster if the Chiefs go in there because I think the Pittsburgh Steelers defense is way better than Chiefs defense. I just they have I think on the front line they have they got Highsmith, um, they got Hayward, they got TJ, um, they got that kid Herbert, and they go in the back and you got Minka, Joey Porter Jr., and whoever else they got back there. I mean, these guys, and I don't know, Tomlin got that team playing good, man. So what's your take on the Steelers, man? I mean, look, I didn't think they'll be this good this year. And, I did not think they were going to be this good. And Russell's playing good football. I'm gonna start with Pete. Pete, what's your take on the Steelers, bro?
I think the last time I was on, I said I'm convinced. I'm sold on the Steelers. Like, look, they're legit. Look at their, Bill Parcells said it. You are what your record says you are. So
Hmm.
what's their record? Like I got I,
Oh,
I know a lot of people
And they're
was
10 and
convinced.
10-3 or 10-2.
They are 10-3.
10-3, 10-3. Yup.
They got a 3-game lead over Baltimore because they beat them
Hmm.
already. So, and I know they played them again. It's going to be tough this week because if Pickens don't play, they're going to Philly shorthanded. They most likely lose this Sunday. But still, listen, everybody thought they were going to be last and
Hmm.
first place, and look, they lost to teams that are like under 500. They lost to the Colts, and I think they lost to the Browns. I forgot the other team they lost to, but the teams were above 500, they beaten. So they played and beat good teams. So I think I think they're legit.
Yeah, they lost the Colts, they lost to the Cowboys back to back, and then
Cowboys,
they
yeah.
lost to the Browns. But I mean, you're right. They've handled who they had to handle. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the
Can't
day,
look, and then I know you brought up luck before we was talking about the Chiefs, but they beat these teams, man. You got to give it to them.
no, yeah, yeah. June, what's your take, man?
I think week after week, I think at one point or another, I asked you a few weeks ago, when do we take the Steelers serious, right? It was one of our episodes on here. Um, and you said you wasn't ready to, not yet. And that was fair. And that was fair based on their situation. So I think on a lot of people's mindset and their point of view, I think they probably agree with you as well. Um, but it was just something that I was seeing in line that it was something a little bit strange. It was something a little bit more than what the Chiefs are showing. The Chiefs are showing ways to win somehow with what they have, with a two-time MVP or a two-time Super Bowl champion. They're showing ways to win with that caliber team, which is expected. However, now when you flip the switch, the Steelers are finding ways to win with a team that didn't even have a cemented quarterback, with a team that has a number one wide receiver, not a not a I don't know, not a solid number two or number three receiver, a running back that last year, in my opinion, shit the bed. Um
Hmm.
and now they're playing crazy. So I will almost put them in the same category as the Chiefs as far as finding ways to win. However, if the Chiefs play the Steelers today, I give the Steelers the edge based on how complete of a team to me I think they're playing versus the Chiefs. But the Chiefs will have to dig deep to find a way to win against the Steelers. So I'm a believer in the Steelers right now. I mean, the game that proved me wrong was when Russell was throwing it in the air and they scored those 44 points. And
That
that
was the
even proved me
Bengals game.
wrong, but that was the game that really put me like, I'm like, all right, you know what? They're not fucking around.
I mean, that's the game that did it for me. And that was my knock. And I told Bree that. I said, my only issue with going for the Steelers, I need to see them put up more points. And they put up 44 against the Bengals, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Bengals put up 38. So I got to see Russell throw the ball and move it. I believe in them. I'm just concerned on the offensive side. If Pickens is not in the game, that game looks completely different. And I don't think they have a plan for it. I don't think they incorporate Mike Williams as much as they should downfield. Austin's good, but I look at Austin like Edelman, like a slot guy, quick guy, give you what he got to give you, get down the field. I shouldn't even say like I look at Edelman because I think Edelman's better than him. But anyways, um, that type of receiver, But I think they can beat the Chiefs. I think they can. I think you get Russell out there not to mess the game up, not give the ball away, let their defense look. They lead the league in takeaways. They got 25
Hmm.
total between fumbles and interceptions, and they just keep getting better. I mean, it's bananas how excuse me how that team's coming around. Especially like June said, a lot of people didn't give them that much credit. You know what I'm saying? Um, Bengals beat the Cowboys last night. Burrow had another great game. Um, Somebody said if they had a better record, would Burrow be in the conversation of MVP? Pete, what you think?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you
It's
think it should
not,
matter?
yeah. Yeah, I think it does. When we spoke about Lamar not really showing up for some of these games against the Eagles,
Hmm.
he hasn't. There's some game, the loss to the Raiders, the loss to the Browns. That doesn't look good on his resume. And if you're gonna go and say this guy's the most valuable player, well, okay, so you take Burrow off the Bengals, okay. They'll be worse, but they still have a losing record. They have a losing record right now. That to me, that makes a lot. That's the whole point. You look at how Barkley's changed the Eagles. To me, the race is Barkley and Josh Allen. Is nobody
Yeah,
else.
yeah,
Goff threw 5 picks, and Lamar. I like the Ravens, man. I just they're like fucking. You don't know what you're gonna get every week with these cats. So to me, it's Barkley and Allen.
no,
That's the
yeah,
MVP. But if they had a better record, he with those numbers, he's absolutely in the race.
yeah, no, for sure. I mean, this dude's
Uh,
ridiculous. It's June.
well, let me ask you this really quick, and just to go off of that. Um, I mean, would you be upset if Joe Burrow really won the MVP? Because I mean, if you look at his stats and numbers, in my opinion, I think Joe Burrow is playing the best football as a quarterback with what he has, given these other winning quarterbacks out there.
Not,
Um,
not upset. I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't be upset.
mhm.
But to me, I mean, there's really no criteria for it. But I wouldn't be upset. But then you got to throw Jamar Chase in there too.
Yeah.
If you throw Burrow in there, you got to throw Jamar Chase because he's
Yeah.
just a different position, but he's having a great year as well on a bad team.
Hmm. I mean, I wouldn't be upset, and I would love it. I mean, I think Joe Burrow's, in my opinion, the best quarterback out there. You know what I'm saying? Just me. He's not Lamar. I mean, he's not Josh. We got that. He's not the stature and size like them, but he throws the ball better than
No,
Mahomes to me.
yeah, I love Burrow. He's a good
It's
he's one of the
he's
better quarterbacks I've seen.
Yeah, he doesn't panic. You don't never see him stressing. He's one of the few quarterbacks that's been down to Mahomes, what, 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, and come back and win in Arrowhead in the playoffs. I mean, you know, I would not be upset. To me, it would be something like, okay, give this mug his credit because, like, yeah, they have a losing record, but you take them out of there, bro. They probably 0-17. You know what I'm saying? Now, like you said, Chase, they kind of they negate each other in a sense, right? Because you could argue Burrow, and I could say, what about Chase? Because Chase be put up 600 yards in one game.
Yep.
The over 200 and something yards in a game. That's like Saquon doing 300 yards in a game. When you see players doing that on a regular basis, you're like, hold up. And what I think's been happening though, and I watched this yesterday. T. Higgins, we know he's good. But I think that team's preparing themselves for him not to be there next year. So a lot of plays when it's go-to, it's been Jamar Chase, and he's been showing up, catching the ball in traffic, getting hit, getting back up. I mean, I wish they can keep both, but I know it's not going to happen. And if Burrow and Chase won a natty together, so I'm keeping Chase. You know what I'm saying? And T. Higgins going to go where he's going to go, but um, yeah, I wish the record was better, man, because he's playing lights out. But I agree right now, based on records and based what's happening, Saquon and Josh Allen, and honestly, these two last performances by Josh Allen, I think it's pushing him over the edge, man. And I really didn't want to see that because I don't think it should be exclusively to quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Because they do touch the ball more than anybody else. And what Saquon's doing is a resurgence of his career, bro. Like this dude. He broke Shady McCoy's single season rushing record, right? I think
Yeah.
that's crazy. In his first year there. So just imagine if y'all had this cat 2 years ago. Y'all probably would have won the Super Bowl when y'all went against the Chiefs if y'all had him. You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows? He's changed. I think they're winning because of Saquon. You know what I'm saying? Even when he's had a game with just 100 yards, until he doesn't break off and run for that run or score, the game doesn't change. And when he does it, the game changes. Like the team changes. And I think that's dope, man. I think he should get it, man. I love what Allen's doing. I do, but Breeze never won a MVP.
No.
Nah, he never did. He threw for 5,000 yards like every other season. You know what I'm saying? This dude was throwing the ball like crazy. He never won one. Big Ben never won one, and got 3 Super Bowl appearances with 2 rings. So you know what I'm saying? I think that the MVP, like you said, I think is between those two. But I think Josh Allen kind of ran away with it with these last two performances. I mean, that dude, it's crazy. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy because you know what I hate? Seeing all that talent, and then you got no hardware to go with it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, bro, you that nice? Like you should have at least one ring to solidify you. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it goes against how I see things. But some people say if Marino had one ring, could he have been the greatest quarterback ever?
Mm.
You know, people can say, oh, Brady had 7. You know, Montana had 4. Terry Bradshaw had 4. But what Marino did in that time when it wasn't a passing game like that, it was more running in a league like that. He had all the records up until Favre broke them. So, I mean, and that's a nice, I mean, I don't know how much space between the two playing, one retiring and keep going, but he gets a ring. Josh Allen gets a ring, like Lamar gets a ring, and you start talking about a Mount Rushmore of these new quarterbacks up there, you got to put them in the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Um, I ain't gonna talk about the Lions. Lions, beat the Packers. I think Lions are rolling. You got anything on them, Pete?
See what happens this week. They play Buffalo.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a good game.
That's gonna be
June?
No, I really thought that the Packers were gonna pull that off. I thought that the Packers were gonna go in there and in the second half, I thought they were gonna dominate, which started off that way in the second half. And then then that's how it ended. But I don't know, man. I really don't know. I I don't know. I'm kind of curious. I want to fast forward to the playoffs already because I want to see everybody's going to be 0-0. If the Lions are coming in that strong and they're playing, I don't know, the Packers, let's just say that I can't sit here and say if the Lions end up playing the Packers, I can't sit here and say, yeah, the Lions are going to run away with this game in the playoffs because we're going to see a whole different dynamic from the Packers. So I'm kind of curious to see how this playoff run is going to go. I think it's exciting. A lot of good teams out there. A lot of good teams out there.
I think they'll beat the Packers in the playoffs, bro. I think the problem with Love, he'll give you a few picks. He'll give you a turnover. We only seen one bad game from Jared from Golf, and that was the 5 picks, and they still won that game.
Bro,
So I mean,
Dave Campbell went for it. 4th and 2 on the Packers 28.
Stupid.
And he didn't get it. I
yeah,
mean,
but I think in the playoffs he'll do things different, man. He had to understand, and he cost his
I
team.
don't. Hey, I told you, 2 jacks hit me.
I get him going for it at the end because he didn't want to give them the ball back. But like what June just said, he was in their territory and he went for it.
Mhm. He's reckless. And
Yeah.
they talked about that. He lives and die by the sword. You know what I'm saying? That's who he is, and the team goes for it. The team it could be 4th and 50, and they're like, "Yo, we going for it."
Yeah.
They
If
not.
I'm one of the if I'm on offense, I'm false starting on purpose, bro. Nah, bro, punt this fucking ball out of here, bro. You gave him a 30-yard field. They scored like in 2 plays, man. What are
Yeah.
you talking about? And
And,
they were
and
winning
if
that game, bro. I'm full starting on purpose, or if I'm the fucking quarterback, I'm delay a game, something.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
nah,
I'm like,
man, he's
I
wilding,
ain't see the
yo.
clock. I didn't
He's
see the clock.
wilding. Yeah, I didn't see it.
I thought they were just trying to call him
So
offsides.
did I.
I
Yo,
was like, all
he's
right.
crazy, bro. He's crazy.
Nah,
I
you
get
know,
it. I get the whole, yeah, let's go for it. This we you know, we a good offense, but
Yeah.
that is too much. Too much.
yeah, he's. I mean, no, but they love it though. They love him, man. They not even mad at it, bro. It's just like, hey, we. But you know what? You got to give him credit for having balls like that, man. I mean, but you know, I get mad
There's
when.
a time and place for it though, man. That's how I see it. They would
No,
have
you're
you know
right.
what
You're
they would
right.
have loved too? They would have loved being in the Super Bowl last year.
Correct. And that's why I think. That's why I think he needs to stop making these bonehead decisions. You know what I'm saying? When it matters most, like you June said, come January, it's 0-0. What we doing? You know what I'm saying? At that point, there's no next week. There's either you do it or you don't. I say punt, let your defense go to work. I mean, I know that defense took a lot of hits, there's a lot of, hurt people, but that's a well-rounded team all around.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're not, it's not their, I think they're very equal across the board. If Hutchinson was still there, then I would say probably defense, maybe a little because that dude makes the makes it go round and shit, man. And like I think Donkey of the Day, which you can't use that because they used that on Power 105, but Idiota of the Day is Kadarius Tony on the muff punt. Just
Oh
want to
my
give him that.
God.
The worst.
Uh,
The worst.
Bro, that dude just how the fuck, man.
he's
You know what?
cursed, man. He's
I'm gonna
cursed.
give Jameis. I'm gonna give Jameis some love, man. Jameis actually went on TV and said, "I'm gonna pray to Jesus. He
Man.
can cure me of throwing these pick sixes." Hey, man, amen, brother. I hope he listened to you. Cause God, Jameis, man, he's funny, bro. He is funny.
Yo, but remember when Kelsey when Tony went to the Chiefs and Kelsey was like,
Hmm.
yo, they let him out the building. Now you know
Yeah,
why.
yeah.
Bro. He ain't shit. He ain't
Hmm.
shit.
Nah, but he caught a touchdown in the Super Bowl, right?
He did. He did.
Yeah. Look, he got a ring. Let me tell you something, bro. Once you get a ring, you good. You good. You can muff punts, you can drop passes. You got a Super Bowl ring.
His luck,
Yeah.
that motherfucker will slide off in the middle of the ocean.
Yep.
And just,
Damn, he fumbled that too. He
yeah.
he muffs up the ring, bro.
God.
Think about it,
Dropping passes last year and dropping punts this year. Like it was
yo.
nice.
Steve Smith don't got one. Randy Moss don't got one. T.O. don't got one. Uh, Calvin Johnson don't got one.
But see, yo, but I disagree, man. You just named a murderer's row of legends. They don't need a ring. Kadarius
But you,
Tony needs a ring.
but you see, you're right. They don't need it. But ask any one of them, they wish they had it.
I know,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You see what I'm
Of
saying?
course they want it.
Insane.
Yeah, yeah. And they're all Hall of Famers. You know what I'm saying? I'm naming all Hall of Famers. Is Steve Smith a Hall of Famer?
Not yet. Not
Not
yet.
yet. Okay. So you know what I'm saying? But look, you said it best. Randy Moss, in your opinion, greatest wide receiver ever, right?
Yep.
So, and he told Brady, why we just didn't cheat when I was trying to win. Anyway, man, week 15, bro. Thursday night, we got Rams at 49ers. I think this is a big game for the Rams and 49ers, honestly, because I think 49ers are still in the hunt. They're not eliminated yet. They got the 49ers favored by 2.5 points. I think that's really going to come down to execution. And I think the Rams are going to win, man. I don't see the 49ers offense looks a little shaky. And they said they're still in on signing Purdy to a long-term deal. I just don't know what that deal looks like, but I think Stafford and them are rolling. They know they can't afford to take a loss on here. They're 3-3 away, and the 49ers are 4-3 at home. So, what y'all think?
Rams.
Rams, hands down.
All right, Rams hands down. So on Sunday, the 1 o'clock games. Hey, Chiefs at Browns, not worried. Bengals at Titans might be a good game. Commanders at Saints, who knows? Ravens at Giants, Cowboys at Panthers, Jets at Jags, Dolphins at Texans. That might be a good game.
That should be good.
I think the game of the night, the game of the week, I think to me is going to be Lions, Bills, and Lions. Some people might say Steelers at Eagles.
Nah, both of those, yeah. Both of those
Yeah,
games for me.
and then they both at the same time, bro. That sucks.
Damn.
At 4:30, 4:25. My team plays, but we already know what that looks like. So
But that's the 4 o'clock window is the prime games of the daytime. You know what I mean?
yeah, Yeah. Oh, somebody's ringing the doorbell. Okay, and then we have 8 o'clock game, Packers at Seahawks. So let's talk about it. Steelers and Eagles. Taylor tape. I think Eagles got a better offense. Where the Steelers, well, Eagles got a better defense right now because they're the number one. Uh, they got Eagles favored by 5 points at home in Philly. No Pickens. I think I'm going Eagles if he doesn't play June. I know you're going Birds all day, but
I got the Birds, man. They're coming into Philadelphia. I think that the defense. I still believe that the people are going to be looking out to see what the offense does, to see how they get the ball down to AJ Brown with all this drama that's going down.
P.
And
And
Yo,
June and June, look.
hey, what's up? What up? That's what I personally think. I think that our defense is going to apply that pressure, and I think we're going to win because of our defense. But I just want to see. I think most of the eyes are going to be on how would AJ Brown and Devontae Smith get the ball, or if that noise is even going to make anything. Are we going to still stick to what's got us to this far, which was our run game, and then we're going to block out that noise? Hey, I don't care about throwing 107 yards. If we're going to win that way, and our run game is what's getting us there, and we're going to stick to it, then so be it. I mean, in my opinion, if I was the head coach, and that's what got me here, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I agree. Pete,
Eagles. But it would be a mistake. Now, this isn't the Panthers. This is a legitimate team. If they try, like what June just said, this is how we've been winning. Don't be stupid and try to feed into the, let's get the wide receivers the ball to make them happy. Just win the fucking game. This is a legitimate threat. I know, and it's a good thing they're at home, but don't use this game as the, let's make these guys happy game. Let's get another W. Let's make it 13. Let's make it 12-2. You know what I'm saying? Instead of what's their record? Is it
11-2.
They're 11-2. Okay, so yeah, let's make it 12-2. Let's not worry about these guys. Let's not worry about keeping these guys happy. Let's keep the whole team happy. Let's keep our fans happy by getting the W. So Eagles at home. Eagles are healthy. They just got that bullshit going on, but Eagles at home.
well, I like that. I think I'm going Eagles at home too. Bills and Lions. Lions are favored by 2.5 points at home, which is not a good favor. Bills are 10-3. They clinched the Raider division, so they got a playoff berth. They might be trying to keep in competition for the number one seed. I don't think this impacts the Lions because it's out of conference game. So if they lose, I don't think it hurts them. I think I'm gonna go Bills, man. I think the Bills are gonna give the Lions a little bit of something they haven't had in a minute. And this Superman Josh Allen putting the cape on, and he's probably gonna throw for 4 touchdowns and have 3 rushing touchdowns. What you got, June?
I got the Bills. I mean,
You got
the Lions are due for a loss. They should have lost last week.
what you got, Pete? What you got?
Lions.
You think they're gonna roll the Bills, bro? They're not gonna let
Oh,
off?
well, you say roll. I'm not saying they're gonna blow them out.
Okay.
I think they defend home turf and they win.
Okay. That's
This is
fair.
in Buffalo. I take Buffalo easy,
Okay.
but home field matters to the good teams to me.
So yeah, Buffalo are 4-3 away, and they're 6-1 at home. So the only loss came at home. That's crazy.
Who
I
was
think it's
that?
gonna be
Oh,
a
the
great game.
Lions. The Lions you talking about.
Lions. Yeah,
Yeah.
they only have one loss. It was at home. So they got the over under 53.5 points, June. I know you like to put your bets out there. So I think it's gonna be a good game, man. I think that the Bills is gonna test that defense. And I think the Lions, because the Bills defense isn't that good right now, is gonna have a great game with Gibbs and Montgomery, the what they call them,
Sonic and Knuckles.
Sonic and Knuckles, Amon-Ra St. Brown out there, doing what he does. So I think it's gonna be a good game. I said I'm gonna go Bills. I might change it before I send my picks to Sal, but I'm definitely probably gonna change it. You kind of swayed me the other way, bro. Like I don't know. You got this power, yo. Your words are like a preacher at the pulpit on Sundays.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Sometimes he be doing that.
yeah. And he does this. It makes me want to be well, I'm already a born again Christian, but it makes me want to go ahead and give my life all over again because you sit here and you say things that just makes me be like, yo, this nigga's talking real shit. Like, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We got to get you on Zoom with us while you're watching the game, man, so you can talk shit.
Oh, yeah, I'll be taking 3 naps while I'm watching football on
Yeah,
Sunday.
yeah, yeah. Yo, you had me weak when you said that the 4 o'clock game with the Giants. Like, that's my nap time. I'm cutting
And I
this
watched
thing.
that shit. And I watched it.
And you watched it. Anyways, all right, bro. Listen, this is this week. I mean, you guys got anything I want to say before we close it out?
Nah, man. Hey, big shout out to Cooper Rush for the Cowboys, and a shout out to the Cowboys. That's the only time you're gonna hear me say that. 176 yards. I needed 175. They kept the game under 49 points. Huge come up. I was talking to Frank yesterday. I made 2,600 on that.
Nice.
So, and shout out to Cooper. Hey, Cooper Rush, man, my guy. Oh yeah, real quick. You know what? Really quick. McCarthy returns next year? Yes or no?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Mm.
That's a good
I
one,
think
man.
I think so. I don't well, it depends. People saying Deion Sanders. If the offer's right, I think I don't know. I think he comes back, man. Who else you gonna have come in? This is his first bad season in 3 years. He went 12 wins for 3 years in a row. Uh, he did change Dak Prescott a little bit. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think what's wrong with the Cowboys isn't the coaching. I think it's the organization as a whole, the owner, the aura, the environment, the pressure of having to go out there and win because the owner says that every time he gets on. This is our year. I'm all in. So I think he comes back. I don't see him going home. You can't do nothing about injuries, bro. You can't.
Right.
Pete?
I wouldn't be shocked if he came back.
Right. I agree. I think he comes back.
Yeah, I think he does. Pete, anything you want to put out?
Nah, man, enjoy the games this weekend. If y'all in the
Yeah.
playoffs in fantasy, good luck.
I mean, yeah, in some leagues, in like one league, 2 leagues I didn't make it, so it's all good. Uh, it's all right,
Shit happens,
I'm
bro.
I'm gonna go cry in a corner. I did better this year than I did last year. I tell you that much. But last year when I went all in with what's my man Trevor and Calvin really thinking it was gonna match up right and Najee, bro, my season was the worst. I looked like the damn Patriots this year, bro. It was horrible, horrible. Anyway, man, it's All Stars podcast. Tune in next week. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.